Church is proud to present a wonderful night of music with the ever-incredible Troy Jazz Collective. Featuring the smooth vocal stylings of Omar Atassi.
Fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come on, fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me, let's take off to Peru. In Llama Land, there's a one-man band, and he'll tune his flute for you. Come on, fly with me, let's take off in the blue. Once I get you up there, where the air is rarefied, we'll just glide, starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You may hear angels cheer, 'cause we're together. Weatherwise, it's such a lovely day. Just say the words and we'll beat the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come on, fly with me, let's fly away. Once I get you up there, where the air is rarefied, we'll just glide, starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You may hear angels cheer, 'cause we're together. Otherwise, it's such a cuckoo day. Just say the words and we'll beat the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come on, fly with me. Come on, let's fly away.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Omar Atassi on the vocals and Craig Kierholzer on the lead trumpet. Give him a round of applause. That tune was entitled Come Fly With Me, which is from the legendary record Sinatra at the Sands and is the opening track, hence our little introduction there. It was recorded in the Copa Room in the Sands Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was arranged and conducted by a young Quincy Jones, as we now know as the great Quincy Jones. Next up is another absolutely classic song based on the 1981 Count Basie recording. Satin Doll, which is one of the most recognizable jazz standards, was composed by Duke Ellington, with contributions from Billy Strayhorn and lyrics by Johnny Mercer. First introduced in the 1950s, the song became the signature piece of the Duke Ellington Orchestra and remains a staple of jazz repertoire today. Satin Doll will feature solos by Peyton on trumpet, Jacob on tenor sax, and Cameron on the bass. Ladies and gentlemen, Satin Doll. That was Cameron on the bass. Jacob on the tenor sax. And Peyton on the trumpet. Next up, we have a tune by the name of Spain by the famous Chick Corea, which was composed in 1971. This arrangement is from Bill Waldrus and his big band's 1974 recording, as well as featured heavily in the U.S. Air Force Airmen of Note. It won a Grammy Award for the Best Instrumental Arrangement. The Troy Jazz Collective will feature our lead trombonist, Carl, on Spain, as well as soprano sax solo by Brad. That was Carl on the lead trombone. How about those high notes? How about Brad on the soprano saxophone? Our next tune-up, to me, is one of the most essential big band charts of all time. It's a jazz composition written by the great Thad Jones. It is entitled Groove Merchant. Thad Jones specifically was one of the most influential figures in the modern big band era. The tune was first recorded on his big band's critically acclaimed 1969 studio album entitled Central Park North. Fun fact, our lead trumpet player, Craig, played this song about 30 years ago as a member of the Jazz Lab 1 at Central Michigan University. The Troy Jazz Collective features the entire saxophone section in Groove Merchant with solos by Jacob on tenor sax and Cameron on the bass. Ladies and gentlemen, Groove Merchant. That was Jacob on the tenor sax. Cameron on the bass. And you know what? I forgot to say they're doing that, but how about that brass section, ladies and gentlemen? Next, we're going to bring Omar back up to the mic. This one, I am 1,000% sure you will recognize. My Way is one of the most iconic jazz songs associated with Frank Sinatra. In my opinion, most iconic. Released in 1969 as a title track on his album, My Way. Originally written as a French song, it was adapted into English by Canadian singer-songwriter Paul Acta, specifically for Sinatra. The song became Sinatra's signature anthem, spending a record-breaking 75 weeks in the UK Top 40. We're going to bring Omar back up, as I just said, to be featured on My Way.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exception. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway. Much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? Well, what has he got? If not himself, then he has not. And to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way.
How about a hand for Omar Tassi, ladies and gentlemen? This is why I like working with you. So, I'm now realizing this is going to be a blast in the face. I wish you luck. Give It One, co-composed by Maynard Ferguson and Alan Downey, was originally released in 1972 as the opening track on the landmark album M.F. Horn 2. Maynard Ferguson was a legendary Canadian jazz trumpeter and band leader, best known for his ability to play in with immense power in the extreme upper register, or the stratosphere, of the trumpet. You might know our lead trumpet player, Craig Kierholzer's inspiration is Mr. Maynard. The song is an absolute showcase for Maynard's legendary screamer register, and we will be featuring our trumpet section on the tune Give It One. This is also arranged by Alan Baylock. How about Andy Wu on the trumpet? Peyton Rink on the trumpet? And I didn't even think you could go that high. Craig Hurlser on the lead trumpet. Next tune, ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a treat. Cruisin' for a Bluesin' is a jazz ensemble standard famously recorded by the legendary trumpet player Maynard Ferguson and his Big Bop Nuevo band. One of the most famous elements of the song is a saxophone section feature. Maynard usually toured and recorded with a smaller band, only using 2 to 4 saxophone, but this Peter Blair arrangement was adapted for the full 5-piece sax section, but part of the solo was removed. So I took the time to rewrite out the sax feature to match the absolutely stupid original. So my saxes hate me. Here is Cruisin' for a Bluesin' featuring the saxophone section with solos by Peyton on the trumpet, Philip on alto, Jacob on tenor, and Arthur on the drums. That was Peyton on the trumpet, Jacob on the tenor sax, and thank you, saxophone section, for dealing with me. All right.
Hi, I'm Craig. I'm the old guy in the band. I just want to say what you heard tonight is these are legit professional big band arrangements. These aren't watered down. These aren't written for high school kids. If you went to see the Airmen of Note, the U.S. Army Air Force Band, this is what they would play. If you saw Count Basie, this is what they would play. If you saw any professional big band in the world, this is the music they were playing. Let's give all these kids a round of applause.
You know, being a musician myself and pursuing music, being in a you're all good. Being in a community like this where I'm surrounded by student musicians who can do the same crap I do and play to any near this level is just a gift, is all I'm gonna say. So, before we wrap up, I wanted to talk about a few things and give some thanks to the band. Firstly, the reason these charts are so hard and what I did with this might be the last time this happens in a little bit. I'm gonna be in college, out of state. I'm an hour and a half away. I can't commute every time to come to rehearsals and do all this stuff. And so I decided that it was a little bit of a farewell. I'd throw whatever the heck I put in this set list at these kids and they bounced off it beautifully. So let me have us talk through who's in the band. So, how about on vocals, Omar Tassi, ladies and gentlemen. On the Barry sax, Alex Smith. On the tenor sax, Aria Comodoros. On the alto, soprano, and sax, and clarinet, Braddock Sapotka. How about on the tenor saxophone, Jacob Strutt? Trombone 2, Kate Dukas. Carl Runmark screaming above all of us. Dominic Jarbo bringing in with the bass trombone. Andy Wu on third trumpet. Craig Hierholzer making us all look bad back there. Peyton Rink on the second trumpet. That's Mike Melenda on the piano. Arthur, and I'm not gonna try to pronounce your last name, my guy, that's gonna go horribly. So that's Arthur on the drums. It's Cameron Anderson on the bass. And finally, that's Anna Ritter on aux percussion. We're gonna play one more tune for y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, this will feature Omar. This is Sway by Michael Bublé.
When marimba rhythm starts to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. Oh, when we dance you have a way with me, stay with me, oh sway with me. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway I go weak. I can hear the sounds of violins long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I go weak. I can hear the sounds of violins long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. When marimba rhythm starts to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore. Hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance, you have a way with me. Oh, stay with me, sway with me. When marimbas start to play, hold me close, make me sway. Like an ocean hugs the shore. Hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance, you have a way with me. Oh, stay with me, sway with me.
Before we finish up, I just wanted to note, as I didn't say that, that is the transcribed exact original big band version that they play on the record. So the studio musicians that showed up that day played the exact same thing these kids just played. So please give us a round of applause, give them a round of applause again. Thank you so much. That was Omar Atassi on the vocals, ladies and gentlemen. And Peyton Rink on the trumpet. So before we're done, I'm going to hand it over to Reverend Susie Hierholzer. And before I do that, one thing, thank you to my parents, to her, and to everyone else who have helped set this up. I do this about 2 times a year, and it is one of the biggest undertakings that you'll ever see. We've been rehearsing for what, 3 months to do this? So thank you to everyone who put their time in. I love doing this, and it's just a fantastic thing to do. So thank you.
Well, I didn't welcome you in the beginning of the concert, but on behalf of Big Beaver Church, welcome tonight for this fantastic music. Did you love this band or what? Thank you, all of you, for your time, your effort, your commitment to this evening. What a joy you have brought to all of us by being here. I wanted to echo Philip's thank yous and thank Matthias and Ron for being up in our booth, live streaming and bringing sound, so people at home are also able to view this, and you can go back and watch it on our YouTube channel later if you'd like to. Thanks to Danielle, Mindy, and Debbie, and everyone who made desserts. On a positive note, there's a whole room full of desserts for you. There's a lemonade bar to make some fancy lemonade, fancy iced tea. So enjoy that before you go home this evening. Spend a little bit of time getting to know each other. And finally, I just want to thank Philip because he had the foresight to organize all of this, to bring friends together, and to spend an evening treating us to some fantastic music. Philip, we will miss you when you go to college, and all of your friends will miss seeing you around here, but thank you for what you have given us this evening and during the Christmas season. One more round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Troy Jazz Collective. Go eat food. We did cover. Good, Alex?